Good morning. I'm Hassan Giordano, and this is your DMV Daily Dose for Wednesday, October 30th, 2019.
It's currently cloudy and 57 degrees in Baltimore. Expect rain starting in the evening. Today's high will be 64 degrees, and the low will be 55.
The Washington Nationals pushed the World Series to a Game 7 last night as Steven Strasburg led the DC baseball team to a 7-2 victory as the shutdown pitcher went 7.5 innings in a marvelous pitching performance, becoming the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to go 5-0 in the postseason. Yesterday, the NFL trade deadline closed with no real blockbuster deals, as was being reported for days leading up to the 4 p.m. deadline. However, the Baltimore Ravens did sign or re-sign wide receiver Willie Snead to a 1-year, $6 million contract extension. The 27-year-old receiver is in his final year of a 2-year, $7 million deal that he signed in 2018. Snead led the team with 62 catches last season, and his 651 receiving yards were second most on the team, while he continues to perform this year, having the third most receptions and becoming a gritty and reliable receiving threat for quarterback Lamar Jackson. The Baltimore Sun's Luke Broadwater is reporting on 5 men who were wrongfully convicted and imprisoned for decades in Maryland, who will now receive compensation from the state valued at about $9 million under a plan to be approved later today. The Board of Public Works is set to award payments of $78,916 per year served by the men, who were released and declared innocent according to lawyers involved in the case and the Maryland Comptroller's Office. Board members arrived at that dollar figure because it represents a 5-year average of the state's median household income. Jerome Johnson, Lamar Johnson, Walter Lomax, Clarence Shipley, and Hubert James Williams have been pushing Governor Larry Hogan and the other 2 members of the board to compensate them for their years lost in prison. They spent a combined 120 years behind bars. Lomax, who served 38 years on a murder conviction before a judge released him in 2006, is in line to receive about $3 million, which is the largest such payment to an exoneree ever made by the state of Maryland. The Baltimore City Council advanced a bill Monday night that would overhaul the troubled municipal water billing system to relieve poor residents from rising water costs and provide them more recourse if they receive bills that appear to include mistakes. The council voted unanimously to give the bill preliminary approval. A final vote is expected on November 4th at the council's next meeting. Now, Democratic Mayor Bernard Jack Young, who introduced the legislation in December when he was council president, has pledged to sign the bill. The legislation would also provide income-based discounts for residents at or below 200% of federal poverty guidelines. The city currently offers $236 in annual bill credits to the poorest residents needing assistance and 43% discounts on water rates. The council also unanimously approved the bill that we discussed in length on the DMV Daily Radio Show with special guest Trey Murphy of the ACLU, activist Tawanda Jones, and lead plaintiff in the Fourth Circuit case that labeled the act unconstitutional, Ashley Overbay Underwood, which would ban the usage of gag orders in city-involved settlements with victims of police brutality and discrimination cases. In addition to prohibiting these non-disclosure agreements, the ordinance also requires that the city's law department publicly disclose information about the claims filed. Now, yesterday, the city's 2020 mayoral race got an additional candidate as former Baltimore police spokesman T.J. Smith made his run official. The 42-year-old Democrat said that his local roots, a career as a police officer in Anne Arundel County, and the years of communicating local government policy to the public have prepared him to take the helm of Maryland's largest city. He argued that the city needed someone not political like him because if they keep electing the same old politicians and expecting different results, well, we know that that's the definition of insanity. Smith said that he decided to quit his job as press secretary to Baltimore County exec Johnny Olinsky Jr. after 9 months because he believes his hometown is overdue for change that the political establishment just can't deliver. Speaking of mayoral candidates, Mayor Bernard Jack Young, who announced his run on Saturday, is coming under fire now for using his high school band at his campaign announcement. Young, who has served in local politics for the past 30-plus years, had his Dunbar Poet Marching Band perform at his recent campaign announcement, something that some are saying is illegal. It's becoming an interesting conversation on Facebook, and the Baltimore Brew has begun looking into it. Today is the first day that candidates looking to run to fill the congressional vacancy in the 7th Congressional District left by the passing of Congressman Elijah Cummings can file their candidacy paperwork. The deadline to file their candidacy is Wednesday, November 20th at 5 p.m., which is 3 weeks from today. And yesterday, 41st District State Senator Jill Carter officially launched her exploratory committee for the seat, as did Baltimore County State Delegate Jay Gillespie. We should hear soon from those looking to run for the seat, including hearing an announcement from the district's former congressional representative, Kwesi Mfume, who is set to make his decision known next week. And before I sign off this morning, let me take a moment to wish my mother, Teresa Giordano, a special happy birthday. I'm your man, Mr. Politics, and this has been your Daily Dose for Wednesday, October 30th, 2019. For more information on the articles that I've mentioned, just go on over to our website at www.dmvdaily.news.